We understand the president has summoned the NRM caucus in parliament for a meeting. What are the issues this time around?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity that we can speak to the country. We are having this as a follow-up of our NRM caucus meetings. In our previous meetings, we did resolve that every first Friday of the month, we shall be caucusing as NRM, and we've been doing it. Only this time round, it's unusual. We've been having it in Kololo and State House and Tebe, but we have chosen to go to Kisozi, basically because you cannot talk about poverty. Now, like this issue of coffee, we are discussing very pertinent issues that touch the country, but sometimes some people don't even have 3 or 2 trees of coffee in their compounds. But we are saying now, if you're a leader and you want to talk about poverty eradication, let us go and benchmark. This is a farm of the president where leaders need to go and get some knowledge to understand. So the agenda can also be determined by the convener of the meeting. But as of now, this is a continuous program for our caucus meetings that we have been having on our work plan.
Honorable, there seems to be, the bill seems to be very unpopular, even amongst the people, members of parliament from NRM. How are you going to strike a balance between what your chairman has directed you to do, which is have UCDA merged into the Ministry of Agriculture, vis-a-vis what the MPs actually want?
First of all, this is not the first time we have these conversations, Canary. We have had it way back last year when we still had caucuses at Kololo, and the NRM Parliamentary Caucus came up with decisions and suggestions. And this conversation has just started. It has not ended in Parliament. And we believe, since this was still brought, I remember the previous caucus, we had an agreement that as we are in the process of rationalization, let us give these agencies 3 years of trying to integrate into the ministry. But you see, it's a public man, and I want to assure you that the NRM and the president, it's a government to serve the people. So when we hear the will and the cries of the people, I'd like to assure you that before Friday, after Friday, we shall have a conclusive decision which will really determine and be progressive to the people of Uganda.
According to the president's demands, looks like for the few times at least he's spoken out about this amendment, his engagement seems not to be yielding any results. Do you think that the caucus this time around, by convening and going to the president's farm, it will yield any result on what he wants?
First of all, the same members that have been meeting before, they have not changed. We are the same members that were in Parliament raising those issues on the floor of Parliament, and we are the same members that are going to Chisos. So I think this is a conversation that is also listen, it's a feedback, a give and take. And the president is watching. These people who have been coming, documentaries have been submitting, and other stakeholders. So I believe it's very important for people to come together and negotiate. So I'm sure this conversation will come up with something that will be very determinative to this country.
And my last question is, of course I know even after the visit, I don't think that the visit will change the opinions of the members of parliament who are opposed to the amendment. Do you think that there's a better way to pass on this message to him at the caucus? The same way you did with Pinetti?
Yeah, first of all, like I told you, we are going to have a conversation, and the president has ears down. We are legislators, and we legislate for the best of this country. So we shall give in our opinions, and is this person who loves this country with all his heart. So definitely, let's not preempt it. Let us see, and with hope and trust, that this will build up something very better.
Honorable, just 30 seconds. You seem to be giving your powers to the president. Why don't you use your powers as legislators to stamp your feet on the ground and legislate as opposed to the demands from the president?
But we have seen what happened in Parliament, and the law is not yet enacted. So the conversation is still going. So the members of Parliament, we are doing our responsibility. We are legislating on the same. And I want to tell you, this is not the first one. We have had so many controversial issues coming to Parliament, and we are given a chance. So there are so many ways that a bill can either be recalled or still be reconsidered. So as members of Parliament, we are not seated, and we are doing our role. But we can only do that on the floor of Parliament, which we are waiting for the Parliament, which was signed. So as we resume, we shall still resume with the same business.
Honorable Brandon Chintu, thank you very much for